Star Trek has just always avoided me. Like, I've always been like interested in it, but I've never watched it. And I thought, hey, since we've started this channel, what if we just started watching it together?
What the fuck?
I was right. Those are right.
Whoa!
That's probably the equivalent of his green, Kirk's green thing. Oh wow!
Here we go. Well, Alex, it must be WrestleMania 30 because the streak is over.
I can't even keep it together for that one. Yeah, I remember how we were like excited to watch the show, and I know I shouldn't be saying this because it's just one bad one in our opinions, but now it's like great.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, the show started and now it ended again, so now we have to wait for the show to start again.
The show finally started, and then that's funny. Yeah, I'm still obviously excited. I mean, it's episodic TV. There's we're not new to this, right? I mean, there's bad episodes, there's good episodes. It is what it is. I didn't obviously think we would never watch an episode that we didn't like again. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, every show ever. I'm joking, obviously.
I just didn't expect what would probably be if I made a worst of so far list. I don't know what it would be, but it would be in the list. I didn't expect that. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I have a series of episodes from TOS that are just... We had the same top 5 worst. Remember when we did that video?
Yeah, just different order, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm already picturing, like, if I just did top worst episodes of Star Trek ever, like, this is added to the list.
Yeah, I think about that list that we did, the top 5 for TOS, and I'm thinking... I think I could kick some of them out for that episode we just watched.
Holy shit!
I mean, but I think that's where we can leave it. We'll shortly discuss it in the season recap, I'm sure.
Captain, sensors report the USS Hood is closing on an intercept course at high warp.
That's odd.
Didn't they mention the Hood like an episode or two ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hey, Will. Will, you getting soft on board that luxury liner? Mission specialist. His name is Tam Elbrun.
As in Tam Elbrun of the Garushta disaster.
Oh, Riker knows.
You know him?
I do. He was at the university on Beta Z when I was studying psychology there.
Okay.
Oh, I see. He was a colleague of yours.
No. He was a patient.
Okay.
Okay, so it's clearly some nut job, and the great, wonderful people at Starfleet with their great decision making. It's like, oh.
And he caused a disaster of some kind.
Yeah, it's great. Tin Man.
Tin Man. I do love The Wizard of Oz.
Me too.
Is this a retelling?
He's a specialist in first contact with new life forms. He's
He's back! With him on the screen,
On
too.
screen, yeah.
Welcome aboard the Enterprise. I'm
Captain Picard, right?
Start off on the wrong foot right there.
You want to know all about your mission. Everything's on there. Orders and briefings.
His black eyes.
D.
D.
I've been fine, but I thought you were on Chandra 5.
Sir.
It's not cute when you both can read minds. Well, he can anyway.
What
He's full on.
are you?
I am Data, an android.
I can't read you at all. It's like you're not there.
Ugh.
Captain wants you to run the orders, scan the technical schematics, and be ready to brief him in 10 minutes, right?
Number 1?
Even Loxana wasn't that obnoxious with saying what people were thinking.
Yeah, she was. She was.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
But when she would do it, it was always like in a joking, like, having fun type of manner. This guy's just saying everyone's thoughts so no one has to talk.
Yeah, it's ridiculous in its own way.
Yeah. Like, obviously, hers is ridiculous, but her being like, oh, Picard, dirty thoughts. Like, she's having a good time with it. This guy just seems like a pain.
What happened was his fault?
Not directly. Board of Inquiry blamed Darson. But if Albrun was so good, why didn't he warn Darson?
Anytime he asks several questions in a row, it just sounds like a beyond belief segment recap. But if Eldrin was so good, why didn't he warn Darson?
It's an organic creature, born in space. No one knows where it came from or why it's here.
Doomsday Machine 2?
We're going to talk to it. I'm going to talk to it.
Have attempts been made
To communicate with it by subspace.
Even he's getting frustrated.
I don't understand Starfleet's urgency.
Romulans.
The top speed of this class cruiser is known to be less than ours. Therefore, we do have some advantage.
Then
Picard maneuver.
Mr. Data, you are our resident honor student in exobiology. I'm assigning you to head up the life sciences on this mission.
Maybe send a Vulcan instead.
And no, Billy boy, I wasn't distracted on Garushta. If Darson had listened to me, no one would have died.
Oh.
No? I don't care whether you believe that or not.
That makes the scene so much more interesting, where he can hear what he wants to say.
Yeah, where Riker doesn't even have to talk. Yeah, it's an interesting twist for sure.
Occasionally, a Betazoid child is born different.
How different?
Born with his telepathic abilities switched on.
Oh, man.
The noise of other people's thoughts and feelings must be overwhelming, incomprehensible, especially to a child.
But yeah, that would be horrific.
As a baby, as a child, it's like
So you don't even know what's going on. You just all these thoughts you don't understand.
can't sleep.
You don't even speak English or speak anything yet, so you don't even it's not like you're comprehending it. Although that's a good question. When they read their thoughts, is it literally words, or do they like translate their thoughts in their mind? I mean, I don't think a baby could do either, but
Yeah, because I don't know. Sometimes I talk in my head with the voice in your head. And other times it's just feelings.
Lieutenant, continue monitoring the precise position of the Echo. Any sudden change in its behavior, initiate yellow alert.
it's nice when they be like a scene like that. That's just like a questionable situation where it's like, oh, if something happens, go to yellow alert. Not, just every time like something happens, red alert.
Ready phasers.
Yeah.
You want them to dislike you. Why?
Because I'm not a nice man.
All right, fair enough.
Too many minds. I can't shut them out. Never could learn.
Wait, you still can't control it?
I'm sure it's tough. I mean, Shore doesn't have to deal with it at all. Half Betazoid.
She just gets the ick or not.
Except for your friend Data. I like him. He's restful.
I believe your impression of Data is probably unique.
Having to get to know someone just once has its appeal.
Ooh, that's a good point.
You're in contact with it. With Tin Man, aren't you?
No.
Damn, already this far away.
We're light years away. That's impossible, even for you.
Maybe not impossible for Tin Man.
Good scene. Good Troy scene.
Oh,
going
yeah,
in there
sure.
talking to him about his feelings.
Doing her job.
Remarkable.
I like the design.
Yellow alert. On screen.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's our pine cone.
Is it gonna be Tamalok, or are they gonna do someone else? Or will it be one of those where it's just the ship, doesn't show anybody?
Romulan warbird closing.
It's gonna be Lore. Hello, old friends. I've made some new ones myself.
Command LaForge.
LaForge here.
Jody, how long to full shield restoration?
I'm working on it.
How did Jordy hear him? Is he just listening to the whole conversation?
Also, he didn't say how long. I asked how long.
Rerouting structural integrity power supply.
Russell, watch the lateral grid balance.
Yeah, sure, whatever that means.
I can't hear you. I'm encased in glass.
Captain, I'm trying to feed the inner grid by stealing some power from the structural integrity field. You should have partial shielding in about 30 minutes.
Dude, LeVar Burton has to have the hardest job in memorizing the script. Unless he's using cue cards.
That's what's on his glasses.
Out of your mind, Picard. What if the Romulans find a way to persuade Tin Man?
I think the chance of that is remote.
I wonder if Picard's thinking about replacing Troy with a full-on Betazoid. Be more useful. Because he's like, you can read all that telepathically? Oh my god. We need a regular Betazoid on here. Troy, you're fired.
I don't think he'd want someone reading all his thoughts, though, at all times.
True.
I have configured these instruments to display information with greater speed and efficiency than stations used by the others.
Nice.
Do you think there's chiller Betazoids, ones that aren't so...
Well, yeah, this guy's like the gifted child equivalent of a Betazoid, so maybe regular ones are pretty chill.
I don't guess you sleep.
I have tried it from time to time, but you are correct. I do not require rest.
Imagine life if you didn't have to sleep, dude. And you were never tired.
Be crazy. Probably lose your mind.
It worries you that I can't read your mind?
Perhaps there is nothing to read. Nothing more than mechanisms and algorithmic responses.
Oh, come on, Data. Give yourself more credit.
You're just different. It's not a sin, though you may have heard otherwise.
It's kind of like they're relating to each other, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. Data, Android has no emotions. This guy
Too
hears
much, too
everyone's
little.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Response.
Nothing so far, Commander.
Why should it answer? What could it possibly have in common with them?
But you're so sure it'll talk to you.
Their lead is too great, sir.
Hail them! We cannot allow them to...
They won't listen to you! Come to. Do not allow.
Oh, he told it.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you're about to be...
Oh!
Okay. Ooh, they even taking some damage.
Whoa!
It seems you woke. You're Tin Man.
Oh, look how much it took out of him. He looked like the most normal Chipotle worker.
We don't know that we have 20 hours. That star could explode at any moment.
I know.
Just going down the little elevator. If only this was faster!
Wait there shortly, sir.
Why didn't you just slide down the ladder?
It hasn't seen another of its kind for millennia. It's alone.
Squirrel needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, what is this?
Just any random instrument they could find.
Captain Gumtoon knows the star will go nova soon. That's why it's here. It wants to die.
Oh my god. It traveled here to get blown up?
Besides, at this point, you need all the help you can get. Even Tin Man's.
The scene itself was fine, but like that score was so distracting. Like all these wind instruments and random noises. It sounded like they had like a soundboard. They just downloaded a new like DLC to their soundboard. They're just like playing it.
Okay, Russell, we're gonna try starting retro sensor element 32 only.
Russell got a name drop twice.
But still no lines. And they're in the old uniform, so they're not important.
Don't want to pay him.
If Tam breaks down over there, we'll be no closer to accomplishing our mission. It would be a grave mistake.
I mean, I feel like she feels so strong about it that how could he go against her wishes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when does she ever feel that strongly about something?
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Okay, we got a new guy.
We claim right of vengeance. We will destroy the alien. If you interfere, we will destroy you as well.
And they're not in good condition because of that blast. So.
Right, yeah. You think Picard wanted to tell him, the camera's to your left.
No, it was like a classic like webcam setup, like webcam up here, but his screen was right here.
Yeah, so he's looking at the screen, yeah.
Oh, here they go. Okay, we got a new little set here. Almost looks like could they be reusing the set from the pilot?
I was thinking that as well, yeah.
I doubt it, but pretty similar.
If it is harming you, we must return. Enterprise, respond!
No, it's all right, it's all right.
Oh. You're cooked.
Red alert. Mr. Worf, armed photon torpedoes.
Aye, sir.
I think the Romulans are aware just how quickly that ship knocked out their other ship, so maybe they'd be like, hey, let's not,
You know how Romulans are, like, they just think like, oh, we can blow it up easily.
Yeah, they seem like they're master schemers, but, you know, it's not really a smart move there. Whatever.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like maybe Klingons would have been more appropriate for this story, but Romulans are the ones that do the whole, like, territorial thing.
Yeah.
Plus, we just had a Klingon episode, so.
There is a large chamber 20 meters ahead.
I know everything now. Come on.
Probably won't happen, but my mind is going that this is all wrong. It's going to be something terribly gross, where it's basically a monster.
Like it's a trick that it wants to die or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy's falling for it. That'd be cool.
But probably not.
Intriguing.
I think it's actually the flood monster from the Halo video games.
What the? Making a chair? Looks like when Plankton went inside of SpongeBob's brain to control it.
Yeah.
And did I ever show you my record player?
Only Tin Man speaks to me now. Don't you see, Data? This is where I belong.
Tam is home.
The force field is down. Enterprise, shoot a beam up. Ah! No!
Oh. Man, this thing is hella strong.
I want to see Q fight this thing.
I mean, even the Doomsday Machine didn't, like, do an attack.
Sir, we've been thrown clear of Beta Stromgren, a distance of 3.8 billion kilometers.
What?
There is no sign of Tin Man or the Romulans, sir.
Data.
Captain, on screen.
Just Data floating out in space by himself. Help.
Oh, shoot.
Data.
Supernova.
Sir?
Ha!
Data, what happened over there?
Difficult to explain, sir.
Tam?
I believe he found what he was looking for, Counselor.
Do you think they're living? Or do you think they blew up?
I don't know.
If they leave it open-ended here, I'll kind of respect that. Oh, no, another scene.
As for the whereabouts of Tin Man and Tam Elbrun, we can only speculate.
I feel like they're going to tease it here.
Individually, they were both so...
Wounded.
Through joining, they have been healed. Loneliness to belonging.
You do understand.
When Tin Man returned me to the Enterprise, I realized this is where I belong.
Aww. Oh, that one got Troy.
Oh. Data has great scenes looking out that window, man. At the end of Measure of a Man, when Frakes came into the room.
I think it was actually Frakes looking out the window when Data came in.
Really?
Either way, it's the same
Either way,
thing.
same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I enjoyed how Tam interacted with all the characters of our crew. His scene with Troy, his scene with Data, the stuff with Picard even, which was a little bit more, like this, and especially Riker, right? I'm glad they didn't try to do some type of like reconciliation with Riker. Like clearly they didn't get along and that's it, and that's fine. So I liked all of that. I'm glad that he was useful, because sometimes like when you bring in a character like this, it can like take over the episode, right? Like I think of the deaf guy, the famous example.
The only example.
Yeah, the only example. Like take over the episode with their gimmick. But it's like this, the gimmick helped explore with characters of the crew. So I liked that. I also really loved that last scene. We always harp on like just end it every time we like cuts to a last scene. We're like, sometimes they're good.
Sometimes
I think that one was really good. And honestly, my favorite scene of the episode. That was like really good. I'm trying to think of anything else, because I like the set of going when they went inside of the Tin Man.
Oh yeah,
that was cool. Always nice to have a new set. I think that's it. I don't dislike this episode. I'm mixed on it. There's stuff I really liked, but there's not a ton that I found noteworthy.
Yeah, I think mixed and not too noteworthy right off the bat is probably the best way to put this. Because it's on screen, I guess, music by Jay Chataway. And you know me, I'm not usually one to comment on the score for the most part. Like, I have trouble enough remembering the context of the episode. So remembering the music sometimes, unless it's like the most amazing score ever, it often escapes me. But Jay here, just really odd placement on his wind instruments.
It does not surprise me that it wasn't Ron Jones, because I would have been disappointed. It was not a great score for me either.
No, yeah. I like the idea that calling this thing Tin Man when it's actually like this giant living being. Like, I wonder... Well, I guess that is what the Tin Man is, right? A living piece of metal.
I'm sure they somewhat explained it, but like calling it a Tin Man seemed kind of... just like weird, like out of nowhere,
and they keep referring to it as Tin Man. And with all the Garoshtans, the Flebians, all these like, and then Tin Man.
Now, could it be thematic, like this guy, because they join, its heart, like it was looking for a heart, maybe like, but in universe, I'd have to go back and rewatch or try to figure out why he was called that.
Yeah, it
was called that.
Yeah, there's some. What's the underlying message? What's the metaphor?
But there should still be like an in-universe, reason for it, if they're literally saying that's its name.
Yeah.
But the guy who played Tam and the guy who played the Romulan, both just a little over the top for me. I don't think Tam was bad by any means, but he was a little bit, a little bit much.
Makes
sense for his character, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, he was a bit much at first, because anytime it's probably my biggest pet peeve is when Picard goes to greet someone and he's interrupted. It's like, I feel like it happens all the time.
It does happen all the time.
It happens all the time. It's like, but the problem is with him being a Betazoid and how they continued the theme of how he's reading everyone's thoughts and led to some scenes I actually enjoyed with him, like having a conversation with Riker not even responding, just with his thought. That's a great scene. I'm just tired of Picard being interrupted. It drives me nuts.
It does happen all the time. Or interrupted and hung up on all the time.
Well, Picard hung up on someone this time too,
Yeah.
so he gets it back. I just wanted Picard to pushed him.
When he shoved Picard shoves him back. Or just shoves him in the back. Just into Data. Oh!
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I agree that when he first came in, I was like, oh, this might get annoying. But they kind of really turned it around. But just in terms of his acting, I liked his acting a lot more in the one-on-one character scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he was like on the bridge and stuff, I felt like it was just, a little over the top. I liked the meeting scene where that happens with Riker, but even in that scene, like beforehand when they're going over everything, he's just like, like I'm like, it's a bit much, but it kind of makes sense for his character, but and then the Romulan guy was just, I mean, he has no character. He was a generic evil Romulan, whatever. So I'm not even gonna blame him.
Was he worse than the one kid who tried to commit suicide? Oh my God, what have I done?
Wait, the guy who stole the shuttlecraft?
The kid who
Jake? Oh yeah.
Oh no! You even remember his fucking name?
Dude, he's the only other kid we've met besides Wesley.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no. I don't think the guy's performance was bad. Or wait, are you talking about the Romulan or Tam?
The Romulan.
Oh, the Romulan. I just don't even. It was just not a good one.
I don't know. He probably got his sides, his pages, and
Yeah.
so he's like, okay,
Yeah,
I guess there's only one way to play this. There's no arc for me at the end of this, so I'm just,
I'd put him at the bottom of the list of the Romulans, but yeah, I wouldn't. It was not a big deal. Last thing I wanted to say on it, this isn't my type of Star Trek thing. This isn't. We'll talk about the ending, but in terms of the actual plot of this thing's out in space, we're gonna go protect it. The Romulans want to go blow it up. It's it was very the sci-fi in the way I'm not totally interested in. Again, still had some really good moments, and I think the ending really kicked this up a notch there. But it just wasn't I was never grabbed,
Yeah, it felt like a very familiar formula, and add the star going supernova. It checked all those boxes of a run-of-the-mill Star Trek science fiction episode.
Mm-hmm. It was I can't tell if that's a good or bad thing though.
I thought it wasn't bad. It's just okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's the scene that's gonna make me cry? Where's that? Where's that at?
Yeah, well, it was better than the last one.
And for that, it gets an A+.
Alex and Josh, the target audience on a cosmic journey, feeling so immense. They're sitting in a room, ready for the show. Star Trek Next Generation, Season 3, let's go!
I really liked the one you did last week, where the patron takes, or you had your phone and you're like, I'm definitely going to do one like that. Steal it. All right, so we got...
Steal my gimmick.
Is this too much?